Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today at Friendship Shaving for another Sunday sit down. I've just had a shave actually. I've just had a very nice shave with my Moolah R89 with a feather blade on its 6th use, and I used the Wickham's Club Cola soap and matching aftershave gel, and I had a very nice BBS shave too. So welcome once again. I hope you sat down, you've got your feet up, I hope you're comfortable, I hope you've got a cuppa. I've got a cup of tea today. I've got a lot to fit in actually, and the first thing I should mention is there's a fantastic giveaway today. Now I'm going to talk about that later on in the video, but it really is a terrific giveaway on the channel today. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk about something really important, and I was going to lead into that with a question. And the question I was going to ask was, why, if you don't already, why should you switch from using a cartridge razor to using a more traditional method of shaving, i.e. a safety razor or a straight edge? Now, I wasn't going to cover any of the usual things that we talk about in the community when this subject comes up. There was just one very simple, very important reason why you should consider switching from a cartridge razor to a traditional safety razor or some other method of traditional shaving. But you know, the more I thought about that, the less I was convinced about the argument. So let me tell you what it is. Typically, when you buy a cartridge razor, you buy it from your supermarket or the chemist. You can even buy them these days in the petrol station where you pick up your fuel for your car. They are everywhere, and you know yourself, they come with a piece of cardboard and a piece of sort of thin cellophane or very thin plastic, and the cartridge is sandwiched between the cardboard and the plastic. Now, in my authority, that piece of plastic is not recyclable because it's too thin. It's not good enough quality plastic to recycle, so that just goes straight in a hole in the ground. It's, you know, we're the 5th largest economy in the UK, and typically what the authorities over here do is they send their rubbish and they pay the third world to accept our rubbish, and I think that's pretty disgraceful, to be honest. So that's really what I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to bring it into shaving. Now, the cardboard itself that comes with the packaging is typically, now I haven't bought a cartridge razor for ages, but it used to have like a plastic shiny stuff on, and I can't recycle that because it's got plastic or a waxy coating on it. So that again goes straight in the hole in the ground. If you add to that the cartridges that you need to replace every single time that your blade gets blunt and you need a new one, straight in the hole in the ground, because you can't recycle those. And I thought, yeah, that's a pretty good reason to switch to using a more traditional form of shaving. But then I really started to think about that. You know, it's not so easy as all of that, is it? And in fact, I'm going to make a bold statement. Perhaps in order to save the planet, all us traditional shavers need to go back to shaving with a cartridge razor. Now, you're just thinking, aren't you? You're thinking, he's gone mad. But I'm going to talk about this a little bit more as we go along today. Some of the problem is from the retailers that we buy from, because most of the things we buy in the traditional shaving world we buy online because they're not generally available in the supermarket. There are some shaving creams and things like the Macaroot shaving cream from the Body Shop, or the Real Shaving Company cream. Products like that, yeah, you can pick them up, but for the most part, I think if you're like me, you like to buy online. And I know you've all been where I've been. I know you've bought a razor online, and the razor comes in a lovely little box like this, and that box doesn't come wrapped with a stamp on the box. Oh no, that would be too easy, wouldn't it? This particular well-known multinational company send that box out in a box this big, and in between this little box and this big box is 4 yards of bubble wrap. And you take that out, you pick out your little box, and what are you going to do with all that bubble wrap? Well, I'll tell you what, for the most part, I can't use that amount of bubble wrap. The great thing, one of the great things about our hobby, our pastime, our passion, is the amount we share with each other. And I know there are plenty out there just like me. You know, you buy something and it's not quite what you were expecting, or you don't quite like it, it's not your favourite, and you send it off to your mate, or you put it online in one of the buy-sell trade groups and someone buys it off you for a bit cheaper. The second-hand market in a community, in a traditional shaving community, it's a fantastic thing. It's brilliant. But the amount of packaging that we generate is huge. It's absolutely huge. And I wanted to talk about how we can do things better. And I wanted to ask you, if there are things that you do that we can all start to do to reduce the amount of plastic that we use. Now I've got a wardrobe over there. You can't see it. It's got 3 doors on the front. They all slide. And then on the left-hand side, I've got a massive box full of boxes and packaging and bags and bubble wrap and foam and you name it, it's in there. And it's all stuff that I've collected over the last 2 or 3 years. And on occasion, I have a clear out, and because I can't possibly empty that box quick enough. Now, I reuse all the items where I can, and we should be doing that. But I always seem to get more in than I can get out. I always seem to order more. I guess that's the issue, isn't it? I order a lot of stuff. So on occasion I empty this box, and I get rid of a load of plastic, and it just goes in the bin for landfill, because what else can you do with it? And eventually the box fills up again, and it gets emptied, and it fills up again, and on we go like that. Now, I thought I'd look at some of the things that we get, or that I get, that I think are a complete bane, and that we can maybe do without. When I was young, when I was a little boy, I used to get presents from my grandma, and they always came wrapped in newspaper. That was it. No plastic, no bubble wrap, no foam, no polystyrene, just newspaper. I never once got anything broken in the post. If you really think about that, newspapers are a great product, because You can roll it up. You can scrunch it up and put it in the box with your shaving stuff that you're passing on. You can shred it and use that. You can wrap the box in it to give it extra cushioning and extra protection. And in fact, all my boxes when I was little came wrapped in newspaper with a piece of brown paper held together by string. And that was how I got everything. And it worked. You know, it worked. So anyway, here are some things that I find to be a particular bane. Here's the first one, and I know the light's probably not too great, but it's like a plasticky polystyrene type material, and I can't recycle that. So if I've got this left over and I can't send it out to anyone else, and really doesn't that defeat the object? I know that we reuse these things, but all I'm really doing, if I pass it on to you, is handing over responsibility for you to do something with it. And you're going to either pass it on to someone else, or you're going to throw it in the bin that goes straight in the hole of the ground, just like I am. Here's another thing. I've got them all out of the way, so I'm having to stretch a little bit. Foam rubber. They don't recycle this. Straight in the hole in the ground. I don't know what to do with this stuff, guys, and you can kind of tell, can't you, that I'm beginning to be really passionate about this stuff, because we've all seen, I'm sure we've all seen those pictures of like a harbour where for 100 yards there's just floating plastic and debris, and it's just wrong. I feel like we're destroying our planet, and we should be looking after it for the next generation, and that's also why I think it's wrong. The problems that we've had during my lifetime, I was born in 1963. You know, the world was a lot cleaner place then, and the problems that have been ignored in my generation, I kind of feel we're giving to the next generation and saying, well, it's your problem, you deal with it. And it's just not right. So perhaps we can start here, small time. We don't have to be a movement, do we? Although that would be good, wouldn't it? Let's be a movement. Yeah. But small time. Here's the thing I've got here. These, I just don't know what to do with these. These are plastic bags. Quite a lot of them have had soap in, so I can't actually use those for anything else because they smell of soap. And I've got some more here. I've got bags in a plastic bag, and I've got absolutely dozens of these that I just don't know what to do with. Here's another one. Now, we all know these, and they're great, aren't they? These are padded envelopes, for want of a better word. Padded envelopes, and they're great, aren't they? And you can reuse them, and you should, and we do reuse them. You put someone else's name on and send them off in the post. But sooner or later, this outer paper is going to diminish, and it's going to be useless. And I can't recycle that. And in order to get the paper off, I have to tear the plastic bag, the plastic bubble wrap from the inside, and then I can recycle this, but I've still got a load of plastic bubble wrap, and essentially it just goes straight in the ground. And this is the last one, I promise, guys. This is the last one. A plastic envelope. I mean, whoever thought that this was a good idea, you know, really wants taking out the back, blindfolding and shooting by the shooting squad. That is just ridiculous. So there we are. There are some of my pet hates, and I'd really like to know if you've got any ideas how we in the community can just start to not use this stuff that doesn't get recycled. I've come up with, obviously I reuse all my cardboard boxes, they're really super handy. And I've got this shredded paper. Paper's the way to go for me, and I'm going to really try to use paper. The other thing that sometimes you get is sometimes you get a box like this, and it's been wrapped up with 32 yards of plastic sticky tape, and in order, you know what I'm saying makes sense, in order to recycle the box, because the cardboard is recyclable, but in order to recycle the box I've got to strip off all of that plastic tape, and I end up with just a ball of plastic sticky tape, and that goes in with the normal rubbish. And I live by the seaside here, so maybe that goes off to the tip and it's tipped out of the refuse truck, and maybe the wind catches it and it's really light, and that just blows down the streets and maybe straight into the sea and adds to the pollution that's already in the sea, that's already in our food chain. It's too late. Plastic's in our food chain. So there we go, guys. That's my pet hate. So anything I send out from here on in, it's pretty much going to be wrapped in paper. I'm going to try and go minimal on the plastic sticky tape. I think when I was young, they used to call it sticky backed plastic. I didn't know what that was. For years and years, I didn't know what sticky backed plastic was. I'm going to try and use, when I can, glue I'm going to wrap my parcels in brown paper, and I'm going to try and glue them and see if that works, like a paper glue. That should work, but I'm going to put a bit of string around just in case. So all I'm asking is, number one, have you got any ideas that we can stop using this stuff? And number two, more importantly, can you change the way you pack things up to make it better for the people receiving the parcel and to make it better for the world? And you know, maybe we can do something. It was my mother's birthday recently. I bought her some little things from a great company called Imogen's Luxuries. Now, I got like a little spray for her room. It comes in a glass bottle, very, very nice. And one of those, I think they're called a reed diffuser. You know, it's like you put the reeds in a bottle of sort of oily stuff, and it dissipates around the room. Now, when I got it, they came in a box, and it was full of bubble wrap plastic, and I was pretty disgusted actually. Now, I have to say, this is not a big company. This is not a multinational. This is a lady that started in her back kitchen and has become more successful and sells great products. So I wrote and said, look, you know, what can you do? Because, you know, I don't like this. They're right now in a stage of waiting for a delivery of new packing materials, and it's made from corn starch, and they just grab a handful. It looks like shredded paper, I was told. They just grab a handful of that, fill the box with it, and when you dump it, because it's made of corn starch, because it's a natural material, it just rots down in a couple of weeks and it's gone. And you know, if that little company can do that, then there's no reason why every company can't do that. The materials are available. So, you know, if you're getting a lot of plastic from one company, try writing to them. I bet if we wrote as a community to everywhere that's using plastic, it would change quickly, and I think it should. So there we go. That's my little. That's out of the way. We can relax a little bit now. Take a mouthful of tea. Oh, that's really good. By the way, this little box that I've got here is a Pills razor. I've not heard of this company before. It is another razor lent to me by my friend Malcolm, and yeah, I'm looking forward to using this. But have you heard of them? I've not heard of them before. Now I'm going to talk about the giveaway. That was a nice lead in to the giveaway, because as you know, whoop, just get it out of the way, I want to surprise you. As you know, I've been very fortunate recently to be able to borrow Malcolm's razors, and I've used lots of razors that I've never used before on the channel, and I've been able to showcase them. It's really, really wonderful to have been able to do that, thanks to Malcolm. Now, Malcolm bought a razor recently and he didn't get on with it. He sent it to me, and to be fair, I loved it, but it was just a little bit close for me, and I kept getting little spots, so I had to stop using it. It's a beautiful stainless steel razor, and this, guys and girls, this is the giveaway. It is an Edwin Jagger 316 stainless steel razor, and I'm so pleased to have the opportunity to give this away, and it is all thanks to Malcolm's generosity. Now let me just show you it in its case. There we are. It's all there. It's only been used about 10 times. It's going to go out with a brand new pack of feather razor blades. It's got a piece of plastic there. Now why did I put that in? But it's going to go out with the plastic, with the razor blades, and I will be wrapping that up in newspaper and brown paper and sending it out to whoever the lucky winner is. This is such a great giveaway, and I just can't believe that this has been put up on the channel to give away to you guys. It's wonderful. So there we go. If you would like to have the opportunity to win this, please write 316 in the comment for this video. Just 316, nothing else. If you want to leave a comment about the plastic and the other things that I'm talking about, then please leave that as a separate comment. It just makes it nice and easy for me, because I use one of these automatic comment pickers, and it just goes straight there, and as soon as I see 316 written on its own, that's it, it's easy, you're a winner. So yeah, that's the giveaway. Isn't it fantastic, guys? Look, I can do that with the shiny light. Yes, I am a grown-up, honestly. Now I've got, do you know, I was after a razor. I saw one on eBay. It is a vintage Gillette, a British Goodwill Empire set. The Empire set of the British Goodwill was made for the French market. I've seen 2 in the last year, and one of them was in shocking condition, and there's no way you would pay the price that I wanted. The one that went up for sale yesterday, somebody beat me to it. The mistake I made was it was listed in US dollars, and I thought I'll bid £75 on it. Well, what I actually bid was $75, and that came out, I think, at about £61. And because of that, I was pipped at the post. It was beautiful. So I've missed my chance. I've been looking for one of these in really nice condition for a long time. But I have got a great razor that I bought recently. It's a 1956 Gillette. I haven't cleaned up the case yet. And oh, look at that! I tell you what, it's beautiful. Let me just hold that up close. So I'm really looking forward to getting this out and using it, but I have something to ask you first. I'll do that in a moment. Let me just show you the razor. It is a beautiful twist to open razor. It's in immaculate condition. The mechanism just wants a little bit of oil on it, not much, but you can, strangely enough, the most damage is on the bottom there, and it's not a flat bottomed razor or a flat bottomed handle, so it's not like someone's been standing it on their windowsill, so that is an odd one. There's just one mark just on there, but it is in beautiful condition, and I can't wait to use that. I was lucky enough to be given a British blade bank. Chris sent this to me, and it's wonderful. This is a 1953 version, so I'll put the link up for the 1956 version, and if you have one, I would love to purchase it from you, so that it matches the razor. But I know that these are quite rare, and I may never ever get a 1956 British blade bank. So I've got the 1953, and I'm super pleased to have this, because when it's in the case, I think it just looks beautiful. It sets it off, doesn't it? It really makes that. Now I've got a little bit of cleaning to do. I haven't done it yet. In here, where the razor rests, is just a little bit dirty and a little bit grubby, but I've got to be really careful, because I don't want to spoil any of this writing. So the back part, that's just getting left alone. I am chuffed a bit with this one, and I think this may be the start of a proper little collection. I'm not a collector as such. I've got a fair few razors, but I like to shave with them. So I'm a shaver rather than a collector. But when you have something like that, that's 1956, you know, it kind of really triggers that kind of collection. Ooh, let me have it feeling. And yeah, I think I may well start to really look at British Gillette razors and British razors in general. Why not? There's so many out there. There's so many out there, isn't there? Have you seen the old lather catchers? Oh, I love them. They're great. They're so ornate. We're very lucky in this hobby that we've got such a vast amount of both vintage razors to choose from and new modern razors. We are really being treated by all the manufacturers right across the board, modern and old. It's a wonderful hobby. Now I think that's everything. So we'll leave it there, guys. I hope you have a good Sunday. Let me know what you think about what I was talking about in today's video. Oh, one more thing, I do need to talk about this. I got an email the other week pointing me to a podcast that I knew about, but I'd not really listened to before. It's a podcast by a gentleman called Tillock, the shaving Tulsan, out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in America, in the big country. And do you know, it's really, really good. Now, the first video Tim was talking, or the video that I listened to, Tim was talking about me and friendship shaving and the friendship shaving brush, the Macy. So that was really, well, it was a little strange actually hearing somebody talk about you, but it was really wonderful in a way. But you know, Tim's podcast is really good. A podcast works really, really well as a stage to talk about shaving products. And I would say that if you like listening to me on the Sunday sit-downs, just sit down and have a chat about shaving, I think you will really like Tim's podcast. And I'm going to put all the links in below, but basically you can get it wherever you get your normal podcasts from. I really enjoy it at night time, just before I go to bed, when I'm not really ready for sleep. You know, I'm just relaxing and I'm on the bed and I just have a listen to the podcast, and it's really, really good. It's really informative and it's very easy to listen to. And in fact, I was just listening last night and I learned something about synthetic menthol. Now, I didn't even know there was such a thing. So I'm not saying that I know everything. Plainly, I don't. But that was a real eye-opener for me. And I have to say, because menthol is not my favourite thing, but I don't think I'd like that. But if you live in a hot country, boy, I bet that's great stuff. So a very interesting podcast by Tim, and I urge you to check it out. Now, that's me. I'm done. I hope you have a great day. Until I see you next time, you look after yourselves now. Bye-bye.